You will be surprised how quickly you can get your rate up. You will be smashing through ceilings that you didn't even know that you could get through. You've got to say a price before you show it. That's why I want to talk about it upfront verbally. And if it's not going to work, I want to know right now. What you want to do is you want to say big round numbers and you want to give them a couple of numbers. It's called price bracketing. Joe, what do you do again? All right, you're a developer. So how much would it cost to do a standard website from you?
Without knowing more particulars, that we're looking maybe 10 to 20,000 for a website.
That was excellent delivery, by the way. 10 to 20,000 somewhere. You did a great job. What we want to use big round numbers. We don't want to be messing around. It could be 10,000, it could be 50, it could be 200. I don't know. Let's get into this. And you're listening for the reaction. That's what I'm doing. It's like sonar. You bounce the sound out, you see how far the wall is. When they don't fall out of their chair at 200, you know where your budget's coming in at. And I will even say that. I'm like, okay, I know a client who cannot afford me. Because you know why? They're the owner and the founder. If the owner and the founder calls me, I know it's not gonna work. I already know that. Too small of a company. So usually what I say to them is, I'm gonna say a number, it's gonna shock you. Are you sitting down? They're like, yes. I know that you asked us to design a logo for $15,000. Strategy for me starts at 30 to 50, and that doesn't even come with a logo. Is that something you're gonna be able to afford? They're like, no. Okay, all right. Let me try and figure out something else for you that doesn't involve us. When you genuinely help people, you know what's happening? The law of reciprocity. You want to reciprocate. So you might know somebody who can afford this, and you'll say, I had this wonderful conversation with this robotic Asian dude. You might want to give him a call because he's a straight stand-up guy. He'll tell you like the way it is. That's why I have relationships that have lasted more than 20 years. Some of them come back. And here's the cool thing. This is like the karma boomerang. You throw it out. Sometimes when it comes back really big, and it's amazing. That's why my network works for me. You ever have people that have worked with you before who are on the streets trying to sell you for you, who talk about you in ways that would make you blush? That's what some of our clients do for us. And that's what you want. So you want to do big numbers based on what we've discussed thus far. Similar projects have costs between this amount and this amount. So $300,000 to $150,000. And then I follow up with a question. Does that budget range work for you?
In the past, you would say things like 50 to 100,000, but lately I've noticed you reverse the number.
Yes.
Why is that?
It's due to the law of anchoring, right? When I say the bigger number first, they get stuck on the bigger number. It's weird. It's counterintuitive to say the bigger number first. Say the bigger number first, pause, let them absorb that number, and then say the second number. I don't know. Projects like this, probably somewhere between 300 and 150,000. Does that work for you? Now, when they want to pay you 150, they're gonna think that's a bargain. You will be surprised how quickly you can get your rate up. You will be smashing through ceilings that you didn't even know that you could get through. So you say the bigger number first, and that's because you're gonna anchor high. You wanna anchor really high. That's how anchors work. Don't anchor anywhere near your number. So the only thing I would give to Joe is if he's normally charging 10K, do not start at 10 to 20, start 30 to 60. Those are good numbers. And then what you want to do is you want to address any buyer resistance in the moment. Don't build a bid. So if he says $30,000 to $60,000, Mr. and Mrs. Client, and the radio goes silent, you're like, okay, did I lose a connection with you? Are you guys all right? They're like, wow, that's a lot of money, Joe. What does Joe say back to that?
Well, we generally do this type of work for 60,000.
You got to give me a bracket here, Joe. You're killing me.
Between 60 and 80.
Okay, between 60 and 80. Wow, that's a lot of money.
But I think you'll really see the value in what we're going to provide for you on this project.
I'm not even sure whatever value you could deliver is worth that, to be honest.
What price would work for you?
How did Joe screw up already? He sold! You're not supposed to sell me! You see, you cannot sell me. You're really smooth before. Here's what we do. You ready? Let's flip it. I'll be the vendor, you be the client, all right? Joe, based on what we talked so far, I think it's gonna be somewhere between $60,000 to $30,000. Does that work for you?
Oh, I think that's way out of our budget.
I'm sorry to hear that. How much can you afford?
Maybe 45?
You know what? Maybe I overthought this. When we're talking, I got really excited. I kind of thought about what's possible, and maybe I'm building you something you don't need. Let me think about this. So if I come back to you with a proposal for about 50K, are you okay with that?
I think so.
So I'll send you something for 50 and we'll see what happens. Let me kind of trim and kind of figure this thing out. Okay, we're done. You see? What happened there? Did I sell you anything? No, I just addressed what you said, right? That's it.